Hello everyone, welcome back to the Cleveland Browns franchise. Today we'll be going through and making some roster changes as well as looking at the trade block. We're going to see if there are any players we'd be willing to trade for today. So first off, we're going to go and take a look at our depth chart and see if we can make any changes. So I first went up to third down back. I wanted someone who could catch the ball well, who had good speed. We didn't need a bruiser on third down because usually we're going to be passing the ball on third down. So I looked at them, I looked at their speed, and I decided to put Duke Johnson in at number 1, third down back, then Terrence West, then Isaiah Crowell, then Sean Drawn. Long snapper, I just didn't want to change that. Andy Lee will stay at kickoff specialist. He has much better ratings at carry spear. Travis Benjamin was interesting. I was thinking about moving him for someone else, namely Tramon Williams, because he had better kick return. But then I realized, I was looking down the list, I went back up and saw Williams, but I realized that his speed was 84, and it really wasn't worth sacrificing 1 point of kick return for 9 points of speed. I decided that Travis Benjamin would be our best option at kick returner, but I was mulling it up for a little while. But then I moved up to kick returner. Travis Benjamin, same deal. I was considering moving someone else up there, but Travis Benjamin does seem to be our best option there. I usually put the best speed return. I usually put the guy with the best speed there, but it didn't work out this time. Punter, Andy Lee. He'll be there. Kicker was interesting. I may consider moving Andy Lee to kicker as well and cutting Carey Spear, freeing up a roster spot, but we'll see where that goes. And that was pretty much it for the special teams. And then we were just getting up, and then we could get off and go take a look at the trade block. There were a couple players I was interested in. I hadn't checked out any of them yet, and the first one I decided to check was left end Vinny Curry, 78 overall. And I went down, looked at our left end position, and after looking, I decided Randy Starks is getting up there, but I decided we didn't really need help at the moment, so we could ignore that for now. We can go back and check. Next was right guard Mackenzie Bernardieu. We could always use offensive line depth, but originally I wasn't planning on. I was about to ignore, but I went back and checked. I realized that we needed some depth along that, especially on that right side. So I decided to put in a small offer for him. Nothing grand. Wasn't like I was going to trade the whole team for a backup right guard. So I went in, I saw they needed a corner, and I was willing to give up a corner. I put in Pierre Desir in our offer, and then I went in and put in a 2017, fourth round pick. So you're trading Desir and the 2017 round 4 pick for Mackenzie Bernardieu. And I put in that offer, and the Cowboys declined, as you'll see in a moment. There it is. So they declined, so I wasn't going to be getting Mackenzie Bernardieu. He would have been nice, but I can live without him. Next up was left outside linebacker Ahmad Brooks, who is 75 overall. He's 31 though, so it would have to be a short-term offer. Looking at our left outside linebacker situation, we really didn't need someone there. We have people there, so then we looked at Michael Brockers, 84 overall D tackle, and that was pretty tempting to make an offer, and it got the best of me, and I decided to put in an offer to the Rams. So I looked through, and I was not very sure I wanted to trade any of those positions away, considering how we either had almost no depth there, or we just didn't have enough players to trade. So going through, I eventually saw that we had people at right tackle, and I decided to put in Andrew McDonald in. Then I went down, and then I went back up, to picks. and scrolled down to 2017 and threw in our 6th round pick. So that was all I was willing to offer for Michael Brockers. So then I submitted that trade to the Rams, which will happen momentarily. Yeah, right there. I put it in, and the Rams also declined, as you'll see. And they declined. They didn't want to do it. And I acknowledged that. Now looking at tight end Luke Wilson, 83 overall from the Seahawks. I went to tight end. I decided we would survive one season without a solid tight end. They're nice to have, and if it really gets bad, we can sign someone mid-season. Tim Latillo, center, looked at it, decided we didn't really need a center right now, and ignored it. Free safety Micah Hyde, 79 overall. He's 24, so pretty young, but we're pretty good at free safety right now with the A grade. We don't need to invest in someone like that right now. John Erskine, right guard. I was looking for offensive line, and after failing to get Mackenzie Bernardi, I really wanted to give John Erskine a shot, and I did. So I decided to. We were gonna be trading with our division rivals, which we don't want to do, but I really needed some depth. So I looked at it, and I put in Taylor Gabriel, Jim Dre, and I put in a 7th round pick, I believe, or no, a 6th round pick in the 2017 draft for John Erskine. So trading with the divisional rival is not something we want to do, but if we have to, we will, and we needed some offensive line depth. But the Ravens declined. They did not want to trade with us. We actually put in a lot of stuff. They probably didn't trade with us because we were their division rivals. I don't know, but now we were going to go through and look at the owner tab and see what was happening there. I wasn't really sure what they wanted to do over there. Recent media questions, I answered one. It was talking about how I was going to run this team. I told them I wanted to give back to the fans, and that's what I plan on doing. So scrolling down, I looked at my finances. Nothing there yet because we haven't sold anything. We haven't had any games, but that'll change after week 1 of the preseason, which will be coming up next week. So then I went down to stadium. We're going to be playing in First Energy Stadium, which is 16 years old. We may consider relocating if we want to. We can relocate if we want to. We can upgrade or rebuild the stadium. Not going to do any of that right now. We don't feel like it. We think we're in a good place right now. And that was, I believe that was about it for the stadium tab, and it was. So then I just went back down to the owner tab and clicked on owner goals. They had a 14-win season goal, undefeated goal, Super Bowl win, Super Bowl loss, and as you can see, it got kind of repetitive towards the bottom, nothing special. So then after that, I went to my team and I clicked on salaries. I wanted to see who our top 5 paid players were. And they were Joe Thomas, or not our top 5 paid players, but Joe Thomas, Joel Bettino, Joe Hayden, Alex Mack, and Tashawn Gibson. They were getting quite a bit of money collectively, and the entire team is actually getting paid a good bit of money. I went down, and as you can see, I still consider moving Andy Lee up to kicker, cutting Kerry Spear, Duke Johnson at 3rd string tailback, Benjamin, and Alex Mack at long snapper. So that's going to pretty much do it for this episode. I did, however, want to discuss my strategy. We're going to be running a lot of single back on this franchise. I really like the looks you can get. There's some pretty good ones, and we'll talk later. See you next Sunday when I come out with the preseason week 1 against